What's up, YouTube? What's up, guys and gals? Thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for finding this video. My name is Matt Samolsky. I'm Matt the Car Guy. On this channel I do car reviews, so if that's something in your wheelhouse, something that you like to watch, please consider subscribing to my channel. I really enjoy making those videos, and I really enjoy when people are watching it. So we try to get a little bit of everything on this channel, a little bit of a mainstream cars, highline cars, luxury cars, maybe some of the exotics if we can get our hands on it. And today I have this 2020 Range Rover Evoque. Now, this is the second generation of the Evoque. The first one came out in 2011. It was produced till 2018, and this one's been produced basically unchanged since 2018. I could not get my hands on the 2021 as they're not out yet because of what's going on in the world. The factories are shutting down, there's some delays in transport and all that stuff. So if you're watching it 5 years from now, from 2020, hey, there is this coronavirus pandemic that's going on. Anyways, I decided to review it because some of you reach out to me and say, hey, what other cars are competing in the small SUV segment, like the GLA model on the Mercedes? And this is definitely one of them. This is by far one of the coolest looking SUVs, small SUVs on the market, in my opinion. And we're going to take it on the tour of the exterior. We're going to check out the interior, check out the cargo space, see what's underneath the hood, and finally we're going to take it for a spin. So if you're ready, let's go. We're gonna start it right in the front here, right in the front end of this vehicle. And you can see, I mean, it is pretty aggressive. Like I mentioned in the beginning of the video, I think it's very manly, although you might have a different opinion, so please share that with me. But this big hood with the Range Rover spelled out on, kind of two-tone, a little bit of a polished aluminum, a little bit of that shiny black that you can see throughout the vehicle, trim in the front. That's your grille, the green Land Rover logo on it, and the nicely wrapping around headlights. Now these do have this typical Land Rover signature with this, like this little oval right here, as well as this hockey stick in the back. Now let's see if these are functional. I actually go through. I'm not sure if they come out. Yes, they do. So these are like air vents. They're letting air in and hopefully cool off maybe the brakes, maybe the tires. Now this is not a performance vehicle, but nevertheless I'm sure it's needed. A black trim underneath here, and this trim at the bottom that's kind of this polished or brushed aluminum color. And you'll see that also somewhere else on this vehicle, so stay tuned. Also has nice fog lights, nicely incorporated, doesn't stick out. You can see them really nicely at night too. Brenza red color, it's got the black or ebony color interior, and on the exterior this really complements those black 20-inch rims, which is an optional equipment on that really complements the rest of this vehicle. Now it goes together with this side trim, the design element, which is kind of a polished aluminum, and the glossy black right here. What else you have is the color coordinated mirrors with the, again, that shiny glossy black bottoms of it. That's got the turn signals right in here. What I like about all the Range Rovers is the way that those door handles come out. So as long as you have a key, you press this little button, it's gonna pop out. Now you can open the car. You do the same thing to lock it, and as you can see, the mirrors fall down. But take a look at the stance of this vehicle. It's kind of like a little bulldog, like aggressive stance of it. It looks very sporty, it looks classy at the same time, and sophisticated, as most of the Range Rovers do. So you can see this one also has the panoramic sunroof, which I'm going to show you that, and it doesn't have that two-tone exterior, but the sunroof and all the glass up here is black, so this is kind of a two-tone as well. There's nothing shiny, nothing chrome, which I personally like on this vehicle. In the back you can see that the lights, the tail lights start here and then they wrap around, so we'll take a look at this now. Alright, so let's check out the back of it. As I mentioned before, the tail light starts right here at the rear quarter panel right here, and it wraps around nicely, finishes up on the gate of this vehicle, and then there's a continuance of it. You can see that black trim with the big Range Rover spelled out right in the back gate of this car. Now it says Land Rover right here, that's the parent company, and then it says Evoqua on the other side, and it is a P250 SE, that's the model name on it. See, what's different about this design, if you look at it from this profile, you can see how high it shoots up top and then it kind of slopes back down. And this rear window is very small, so that makes me think the visibility might not be the greatest. But if you've seen some of the other Range Rovers that I reviewed, on this shark fin spoiler or antenna right here, it's got this little camera. So I think what it does on this one as well is it can flip the rear view mirror and make it into a camera, so you can see out of it without even using that rear window. Brake light nicely incorporated into this top spoiler right here. And what else is different about this car? Check it out. Do you see if there are any exhaust tips? I don't see any, because the exhaust is hidden underneath that bumper, and this is completely different too. You see, most of the manufacturers would put it the same color as the rest of this vehicle. Now Range Rover put it the same color as the spelling of this Range Rover name, which kind of breaks up that back, makes it a lot more interesting in my opinion. So check it out, take a look for yourself, see if you like it. We're gonna check out and see how much room there is inside for cargo. Power lift gate, so you don't have to, lift it up. Closes the same way. It's a small SUV, so it's not going to have tons of room, but it definitely has room to go shopping, grocery shopping, maybe even for a Costco run. It does have a spare tire, so let me show you how that looks from here. Okay, let's walk up on this and let's see how it looks from here. Now see, there's not much room in here, so when you have it open, that cargo cover also covers the entire area, so you don't see what's in the back. Now it does have the 40-20-40 split on the seats, and what else we have? We do have a spare tire, which basically takes up the entire room underneath this panel in here. So there's a 12-volt outlet, and this is it. This is the back cargo area. I think it looks pretty hot as far as the back of this vehicle. All right, so when shopping for a small SUV such as this one, the concern is whether it's going to have enough room in the back seat to accommodate me. Now I'm 6 feet tall. The front seat is adjusted to my regular driving position. Let me see if I can fit in here, and let's see if I have in the room. And I do. Surprisingly, it looks like when you're getting in, and I'll show you that on the close-up, but when you're getting in, your knee might almost hit the front seat, but the way it's contoured, and it has a lot of room once you get in. And what's even more surprising, when you take a look at this body line, the roof line of this car, let me close this so you can take a look at it. It's almost counterintuitive to think that you're gonna have enough room in the back, but I have plenty of room. I have probably about another 2 inches above my head, so another person who's higher can comfortably fit in here. And that's with the vehicle that's equipped with the panoramic sunroof, which takes up another inch or so of the space right here. I'm not sure if they're available without the panoramic sunroof, but this one's got plenty of room. And let me show you at the interior in the back seat, and then we're going to move on and see where the magic happens. All right, we're going to walk up to it, and I'm going to check out the back interior of this car. Now take a look at the way that the seats are contoured, especially right here. See how much room it's indented, and the way that your knees will fit in comfortably. Also, it seems like there is not enough room for your feet, but trust me, I fit comfortably in this vehicle, so that's surprisingly. What else is here? It's pretty simple in the back. There's nothing to it. I mean, there's 3 seat belts, so 3 people technically can fit in here. Is it gonna be very comfortable? Probably not. What else we have on the door? Oh, this is a cool feature. This is basically a warning, and it will I don't know if it's gonna sound the sound, but it'll definitely start blinking if there's somebody that is approaching the vehicle as you're trying to open the rear door. It's also available in other vehicles. Mercedes has the same thing, for example. It does have the MERIDIAN stereo, which Land Rover, Jaguar is using on their cars, and that is it. That's the back of it. Alright, so none of my videos would be complete without the door sound track. Let's see if we can hear that solid thump. There it is. I mean, there you go. I mean, there's no other sounds. I mean, there's no clanking, and it is pretty solid. Let's take a look and see what's up here. Okay, so what's on the door? It's MERIDIAN stereo. This is the alert if somebody is trying to approach the vehicle and you're trying to open the door. And here's your lock unlock. Here's your mirror controls, window controls. This is the child safety lock. Another speaker, 3 memory settings, door handle, and this is it. This is the door of the car. Let's jump inside. Okay, so let's check out the interior, the rest of the interior on this Evoque. And this is basically a definition. Hey, you've seen one of them, you've seen them all, and that's truth. I mean, a lot of manufacturers, if you noticed, they are going with the same interior no matter what vehicle you go to. Now, for example, Mercedes-Benz with the MBUX, BMW with the live cockpit, and this Range Rover right here with the 2 screens on the right hand side, the multifunction steering wheel. Again, you know, it's not bad because they make you get used to the brand, so you can upgrade it. You know, let's say you start with this, then upgrade to the Sport, then upgrade to the big one, Range Rover. You stay in the Range Rover family, you'll know how to use no matter which one you get into it. But this one is one of my favorites. I think the MBUX is number 1. This is probably number 2 because it's so easy to use. There might not be as many options on it, but you know, let's check it out. I mean, we're not going to go fully pledged option by option, but first of all, what you see is the Range Rover logo on the steering wheel. Let's turn off the car, okay? And I'm going to open the door so it's going to turn off like completely. See, all the screens turned off now. All of these turned off. You can't see anything. Now, these are actually like the push buttons, that touch buttons that will come alive as long as I turn on the vehicle. Now, the only thing that you can see that stays on for a little bit is that Land Rover logo, and that's such a classic logo. But let's turn on the car. By the way, the engine start stop button is right here. Let's turn it on. Okay, the vehicle comes alive. As I told you, you know, those buttons right here, see, they all light up. So now you know what they're for. You know, and this is the menu button. This is basically controls the layout of that instrument cluster. And let's take a quick look and see what you have here. So first of all, you can set up display. You can go to settings, see at the top here. Now we're looking at the info panel, right? So looking at the driver assistance, you can make this a map if you wanted to. See, now you have a map in between the dials, and the dials left hand side, it does have the speedometer. Right hand side, you have the tachometer. You also see those 3 seats. This is basically an occupant position system, so that basically it tells you that right now they turn off, so nobody sits in the back seat. What's surprisingly here, that for a vehicle that's not a super powerful car, it does have the speedometer that goes up to like 175 miles per hour, which is not even close to the top speed of this car. This is a lot less. So check it out. Other than displays, what can you do here? So you can check out the trip, A or B. We can set up the driver assistance. So by the way, this is an easy way to see of what driver assistance features are available on the vehicle. So collision avoidance, emergency lane keeping, steering assistance, speed limit awareness, forward alert, A, B. Let's turn on this forward. Blind spot assist, cross traffic monitor, and let's see if that's customizable. Reverse, okay, so that's on. And let's go back. Driver condition monitor. So basically a lot of the cars have that now, traffic sign recognition. But what I'm going back to the driver's alertness is a lot of companies are putting that in as a standard equipment, especially on those Highline cars, saying that, hey, you know what, the drivers are driving a long hours and then they're falling asleep, so let's help them out with staying alert. So they have different versions of it on different cars. They'll alert you either by vibrating the seat, sounding the sound, making some kind of other noises. But that's what you have in here. So this is different vehicle settings. You can control the security features. You can control the... And to be honest with you, the only thing that I would change is the way that it's controlled, because sometimes you have to like hit these buttons a few times. But you know, once you get used to it, I'm sure it becomes a lot easier. But the main infotainment system are those 2 screens on the right hand side. And you know, first of all, I mean, this one pops out, so you can see that right now it's open like this, and you can control, by the way, you can control that with the settings in here. So if you wanted to control the screen angle, you can actually make it flat if you wanted to. problem with it is that it would be really hard to see. So we're gonna go back and we're gonna move it out, I think maximum right here, and then you can go to home settings. You can change the wallpaper, you can change the different settings on this vehicle. Navigation system, standard. Well, I'm not sure if it's standard, but this particular one has it. I'm going to list it, what's standard, what's not standard on here. Phone, media. I'm going to turn off the radio. There's a knob for that, actually. Okay, we can turn it off if you'd like to. Camera, okay, that's important too. So it does have the rear view camera. Don't see the front camera. Okay, parking sensors. We're going to turn those on. Parking assist. Indicate to select exit direction. So this is a park out assist. Okay, we're going to turn that off. Create new profile. Okay, so you can customize it and each user can have their own profile. Navigation, media, phone. 3 basic settings. Your settings for the climate control are at the bottom screen, and this is the bigger screen. You can easily select of what you want to do. Select the temperature, basically easy as this. If you push this, it's gonna have you control the seats. So now you have the seat heater. As you can see, this one doesn't have ventilated seats, but if it did, going the other way would cool the seats down. You can turn off this screen if you'd like to, or turn off the climate control, or you can set it to auto, and you can also select from here, from the bottom screen, your vehicle driving modes. Like most of the Range Rovers have the Eco, Grass Gravel, Mud Ruts program, Sand program, and Automatic program, which Auto Terrain Response, I find it the best program that this has because it adjusts automatically to the current driving conditions. Very nice, very clean display, very user friendly in my opinion. Hopefully it's going to be reliable one. As some people, you know, voiced some concerns about the reliability, but you get the warranty, or you get the extended warranty if you get a vehicle like this. Your shifter, you know, right where it's supposed to be. Range Rover decided to stick with the shifters for basically all of their vehicles, and this is a look at the design of it. They put a lot of thoughts into designing this car. Look at the different textures. This is like the smooth piano black, not my favorite, but it's here. But around here it's this textured black color, and this is the polished aluminum. And now you have the 2 cup holders, and here's your key. This is heavy, by the way. This is a heavy key. You know, it's a Land Rover key, but that's the standard design key for basically all the new Land Rovers. What else we have here as far as taking a look at the quality of it? This is nice, soft, kind of a neoprene, if I were to guess that the fabric of it, and this is more of a soft plastic in here. And also you have your regular size glove box. Before we check out the seats, I want to see if that rear view mirror can turn into the camera. Boom, there you go. Love it. I absolutely love that feature on this vehicle. I only seen that on the Range Rover and Toyotas. I'm not sure if any other manufacturer has it, but that turns into the mirror, so you don't have to look and see of how much view you have, because quite frankly, look at this, very obstructed view, and if you have a passenger in the back, it'd be almost impossible. So very smart on Land Rover to put this as a monitor for the camera that's up on top of the car. Sunroof controls, one touch operation, opens up this panoramic sunroof. Nice big sunroof, windscreen, and then we can close, one touch operation for your shade, sunshade. All right, this is the interior of it. My favorite part, coming up, before we do that, one more thing. I want to check out and see how much room we have in here and what else is in here. So this apparently goes in here. Oh, so to cover the cup holders if you're not using them. Now you have the micro SIM, which makes me think, or I know, that you can actually make this into like mobile hotspot, and then you have the regular 12-volt outlet as well as the 2 USB ports. And all of those Range Rovers, they have 2. This is split, so when you're driving and you have your elbow on one and the passenger wants to open it, he doesn't have to move you, or you don't have to move the elbow out of the way. All right, I'm ready to go. One more thing before I take this vehicle for a spin. I forgot to mention that there's also a storage underneath that screen that you see, and this seems to be the case in a few Range Rovers, like the Defender has it. You know, you can see you can hide some stuff and it's not going to be visible from the outside if you hide, let's say, your cell phone or maybe a small purse. Alright guys, you ready? I'm certainly am. Take this for a ride, see how it handles. I know it's not very impressive on paper, but you know, the 246 horsepower, I think Mercedes 255, BMW somewhere around there too, so it's definitely in the range. Well, you know, let's talk about price, because price is going to be important for a lot of people. Now I'm going to post a link in the description, or I'm going to actually post all of the equipment as well as the MSRP of the vehicle that I'm testing right now. But they start in the 40s. They start in about mid 40s, about 45. This one, 57,590, so it's got quite a bit of optional equipment. There's different trim levels that are available. This is the SE, so there's 2 more trim levels that are above it, and those are both available with that P300 model. So those are the hybrid engine that produces more horsepower and it's faster, as well as they have that R design. So check them out. This is kind of the higher trim level, if you will, and it does have, it's very nicely appointed. It's got tons of different features on it that might not be available on some of the other cars. But let's see, let's set up the air conditioning and let's turn that down a little bit because it is getting a little bit hot. Believe it or not, we're in November having this beautiful weather here. Alright guys, so you ready to take it for a spin? Because I'm certainly am. Now I have it in reverse right now. We're gonna put it in reverse and check out the rear view camera first. So the rear view camera is there. It's kind of confined in this big screen. There's this smaller window, if you will, so it could be better if it was the full screen. But this, with combination with this camera, I think it makes a lot of sense. So let's back it out a little bit, and then once we back out, I'm gonna take it and turn it around to see how the turning diameter is. So I'm gonna turn the wheel all the way, and we're gonna see how many parking spots is that. 1, 2. Okay, so this is pretty cool because it's right on the edge of 4. So 4 parking spaces. It is a fairly small vehicle, so it's going to have a nice turning radius, and it does. We're gonna take this for a spin around here and see, first of all, the pickup, because 7.1 seconds 0 to 60, I know it's not very important because we're not going to be racing it, but merging into traffic, super important. So let's hit it. Okay, so in my opinion, that's substantial for what this vehicle is. Now let's face it, it's a small SUV. It's not something that we're going to race. It's got enough guts to get in to traffic. It's got enough guts to get going. So to me, no complaints. I would probably opt out for the bigger engine just because I like that little bit of an extra oomph. But you know, if you're just looking for the city driving or everyday vehicle, there's nothing wrong with this one. It does drive like Range Rover. I mean, it does feel very solid. It does feel very rugged, if you will, like an off-roader should, even though this one on the outside looks like a city vehicle. Let's put this mirror where it's supposed to be, right here. So you can hear the engine. I think this is the same engine that I tested on the Velar, and this is a smaller vehicle, so it's got a better pickup, but it's still, you can still hear the engine quite a bit. Let's see how it corners. Not bad at all. I mean, it does have a little bit of that body roll, but nothing crazy. Does it have, like, not that I need it, but it doesn't have the shifters? Or yes, it does. It has it right on the shifter right here, where you can put it in the sport mode and actually manually shift gears. So let's reduce it and let's hit it. It's actually pretty cool. It's a nice solid shifting. Vehicle feels nice. I don't know, if you're looking for a small SUV, this could definitely be, you know, the choice. The roominess in the back is not the great, but that's not what small SUVs are. They don't have tons of room, but that's enough for, you know, carrying a few people around and you know, some groceries in the back. You know, if you're looking to go on a road trip with a 5-person family, consider putting the luggage rack on top and having the luggage there, because there's not much that's going to fit in the back here. But as a daily driver, everyday driver, perfect. This is the same kind of size, maybe a little bit smaller, like a, you know, Honda CR-V, for example, for the non-luxury brand, just for a point of reference. But it feels good. I don't think that Range Rover gave up anything by producing the lower end vehicle, and by lower end I mean for Range Rover standards, because it's still $56,000 car. You can buy a lot of cars for that price, but they wouldn't be Range Rovers. I'll give it a thumbs up. I think it's a pretty cool vehicle for what it is, and certainly worthy competitor to the GLA X1 or X2 series BMW. It is more expensive, however, so be your choice. Guys, thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting this channel. You know, every like, every comment, every subscriber counts, and I'm really getting excited because we're getting to the point where, you know, the 300 mark is coming up. 300 subscriber, not 300,000 yet, but I really appreciate every single one of you. So if you like this type of videos, please hit like, subscribe, and welcome to the Matt the Car Guys family. I'll try to post twice a week, as I've been doing for the last few months. Now this channel is only a few months old, so I'm really very glad that it's growing at the rate that it's growing. I mean, literally, I was just looking at the first video I posted was about not even 5 months ago, first car video that I posted on this channel. So thank you for supporting it, thank you for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Cheers.